Check out your volume. Check out your volume. We are going to discuss all. The other day we completed with poultry farming, layers, broilers, and I gave you certain questions. Did you answer them all? No, I had given some questions to answer. Ne? I gave you some questions. See your notebook. Check. Take out your notebook. Check. I did not give you any questions. Okay. For broilers and layers, I think I gave you some poultry. Check karo. Wait, from which part? Cattle farming or poultry? Both mixed. I gave you. What were those questions? Can you read out?
Mentioning two desirable traits of poultry. What is the most common field of poultry? Right to live of nature concentrates. Or what is crossbreeding?
Crossbreeding I must have given long back.
No,
Previous class? I don't think so. Neeraj, notebook nikalo fatafat. Sit here. Notebook nikalo fatafat. The other day I gave you questions on poultry farming, cattle farming. Where are those questions? Huh? Take out your notebook, check how many questions from this animal husbandry part. How many questions we have done?
What is the most common feed of poultry? What type of nutrients are present in the egg of poultry? इससे 4 क्वेश्चंस हैं.
इसके पहले
7 क्वेश्चंस हैं.
इसके पहले कौन सा? Which part is this? Animal husbandry. इसमें कौन से questions है? Read.
What is the main purpose of breeding? Name to indigenous and exotic breeds of cattle. What is meant by crossbreeding?
Sit here.
Write two differences between concentrates and roughage given to cattle as food. Name the indigenous and exotic breeds of
Okay.
Next.
Now, next is, okay, roughage, additives, I gave you. Next. Start. What is a ration? We'll write fast. Number 1. What is a ration? Answer. Balanced cattle feed. You will write fast. I'm not going to wait for you. You all are too slow. Balanced ration feed. Balanced ration feed. Balanced cattle feed. I'm sorry. Balanced cattle feed balanced cattle feed containing.
Balanced cattle feed should start with it.
Containing all nutrients. Containing all nutrients in a proportionate manner. In a proportionate manner is known as ration of the cattle. Is known as ration of the cattle. Is known as ration of the cattle. Next. आंसर लिखो. Milch cattle refers to the female cattle which are producing milk. Female cattle which are producing milk. Next sentence. The drought cattle refers to the male cattle which are used for carrying loads and labor in field. And labor in the fields.
Carrying loads,
In the field.
Loads and labors in the field.
And labor, not labors, labor, meaning for doing work, L-A-B-O-U-R. All these things I had explained you already the other day. Load and labor. Load and labor in the field. Load and labor in the field. Take care. Next question. Why are vaccines given to cattle? Why are vaccines given to cattle? Because I don't want to answer your funny questions. Why are vaccines given to cattle? You are attending the school or the class for the first time? Pavit, Now today also if I start entertaining all your doubts and questions, today also we'll not be able to finish what I have planned. So today I have to ignore all your funny questions. Now answer liko. Why are vaccines given to cattle? Because vaccines, remember the last day we were talking about cattle also suffer from variety of bacterial viral diseases. So vaccines, do you understand the meaning of vaccines now? What are vaccines?
Dead.
The other day we were discussing vaccines are
the dead
germs.
Of the viruses.
Dead germs, any type of dead germs it can be.
But
and
mostly the germs are of the virus.
No, bacteria also. Vaccines can be for bacteria also. Vaccines can be for very difficult for viruses. Actually, when you talk about vaccines, are mostly for bacteria. Very difficult for virus. That's the reason it took 2 years to get the vaccine for COVID-19. Otherwise, it would have been possible in 2 months. So when we are talking about vaccines, majority of the vaccines we know available today are majorly for the bacterial infections. Now, anyway, when you talk about vaccines, kya likhna hai? What are vaccines? Dead germs, which are introduced in our body to do what? To allow the formation of some chemicals known as antibodies. And which the WBC, remember the other day I was writing WBCs do what? So WBCs do those chemicals, release of chemicals. And then we get safe from any other type of bacterial viral. So the same is for cattle. Let us write. Why are vaccines given to cattle? Vaccines are introduced. Vaccines are introduced into the body of cattle. Vaccines are introduced into the body of cattle to prevent them. Vaccines are introduced into the body of cattle to prevent them. Vaccines are introduced into the body of cattle to prevent them from a variety of bacteria. To prevent them from a variety of bacterial and viral diseases. To prevent them from a variety of bacterial and viral diseases. Okay. Why is it necessary? Why is it necessary to do proper cleaning? To do proper cleaning. And spraying disinfectants in poultry farms. Now, why is it necessary to do proper cleaning, maintaining, sanitation, and spraying disinfectants in poultry farms? So now, when we are talking about maintaining, Pavitra, do you have any sense that you are in a classroom now? Is it your break? Is it your break going on that you are, as it is so smoothly talking there? Ryan, hai na school? Ryan school, hai na? That's why. You all are famous for all this. You all are famous for all this. Discipline zero. You're spoiling the name of your school also, year by year, batch after batch.
Disinfectants.
Now, write down the answer. Why is it necessary to do proper cleaning? Why is it necessary to do proper cleaning? Maintaining sanitation and spraying disinfectants in poultry farms. Likho answer. Did you understand the question? When we talk about cattle farming, for cattle farming also we were discussing that the shed of the cattle should be well ventilated, the floor should be clean, and it should be slopey so that all the waste substances get drained out. So that also more or less has to be maintained for poultry. Write down the answer. Write down the answer. Poultry farms should maintain a proper hygienic environment, adequate temperature, comma, cleaning of the birds as well as the farm,
Adequate temperature.
comma, cleaning of the birds as well as the farm, cleaning of the birds as well as the farm, cleaning of the birds as well as the farm, and also spraying disinfectants so that the animals, you will sit here. You did not understand what I'm telling you? You don't need any. You sit here straight away. Sit here. Don't waste any time. Sit here.
Disinfectant.
What I said, what was the last word? And spraying disinfectants so that the animal does not suffer from any type of diseases, and are not attacked by pests, and are not infected also, you can write, and are not infected by pests, and are not infected by pests. Last time I gave you one difference to write, no, broilers and layers. Where is that answer? You all are saying that you did not write that. I think I remember. I gave you. Dekho, check karo. That's an important question. Broilers and layers का difference दिया था मैंने? नहीं लिखा? Now this is your first year, so I think we are not getting that tough with you. 10th में जाओगे तो इस तरह का behavior straight class के बाहर. So prepare yourself before you enter the 10th standard classrooms. Prepare yourself with your this and your behavior. दोनों होना चाहिए. ये तो develop बहुत जरूरी है. And your behavior also. बाद में. You can lay it now. Write two differences. Don't take his notebook now. Arya.
This notebook ले रहा है.
Write two differences between layers and broilers. This answer is there in your volume.
मैं सामने किया है जो पूरा वन.
Layers and broilers. Write two. फटाफट. Make a column. Write two differences between layers and broilers. Layers and broilers. Column बनाओ फटाफट. This is important. From this part, whatever few questions are always to be there in your paper. At least those answers try to remember. Rest I had explained the entire chapter. You are supposed to read. Of course, any question can come. Likho. The first, make a column, layer, broiler, under layer, first point you write. These are under layers.
Yes, ma'am.
These are egg. तुम क्या इतना क्या attraction है magnetic कि तुम अंदर जा ही नहीं पा रहे हो? हाँ? अंदर जाओ ना, आराम से बैठो। पैर को हवा लगा रहे हो?
नहीं, वो बास्केटबॉल खेलते हुए गिरेगा, तो इसलिए।
तो मतलब जो लोग बास्केटबॉल खेलते होंगे वो लोग ऐसे ही बैठते हैं हमेशा क्लासरूम में?
गिर गया आज मैच।
हाँ तो आराम से बैठो ना, इसलिए the entire bench is for you.
फोल्ड करना पड़ता है ना नी पे, ये इसलिए मैं ऐसे ये पैर ऐसे रखा हूँ।
हाँ देखो, nowadays Neeraj is becoming little bit much better. Neeraj is getting himself prepared to enter a standard higher with bit more of maturity. Bit more of maturity. He is listening to his teachers and he is listening to your parents also now. Very good. Good symptoms. And you need to improve. Before I give you entry into the 10th standard, I'm definitely going to meet your parents first and then. That you decide. But you have to, I will definitely meet your parents. Disturb तो करते हो हमेशा, और कुछ करो ना करो. चलो, be very serious.
Let's go.
Now, what is that? Two differences I said. Number one, layers. The first point I said, layer. These are egg-laying birds. These are egg-laying birds. Egg-laying birds. Broilers, likho. These are egg-laying birds. Broilers. These birds are maintained. These birds are maintained for meat production. These birds are maintained for meat production. Number two, layers. Next, they require low protein. I'm sorry, the layers you are writing. No, they require high protein and low roughage diet. They require high protein and low roughage diet for egg production. They
require high protein and low
roughage. Other side, what should you write?
They require low protein and high roughage.
High roughage. Flesh production. Be inspired from Neeraj. Neeraj is enough. His one name should be flourishing and shining so much कि उसके बाकी के नाम से जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगा. That Neeraj itself should shine so much. Arya,
एक rhyme lab तो हो जानी चाहिए इसके लिए.
वो बाद में करेंगे. When you also show some good signs. वो रायन खाली क्लैप ही करना सिखाता है क्या? मैनर्स नहीं सिखाता है.
मैं सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ.
नहीं सिखाता.
बस प्रेयर सॉन्ग पे डांस करना सिखाता है.
ऐसे गणपति जैसे डांस.
प्रेयर सॉन्ग पे डांस
2 घंटे सुबह ना 8:30 to 10 डांस.
प्रेयर सॉन्ग पे डांस करवाते वही तो देखो ना.
पढ़ाई तो कराते नहीं.
बाकी के सारे पीरियड अपने पास
हर दिन
स्टार्टिंग के हम लोग कोई डांस नहीं करते. स्टार्टिंग के 2 मिनट बस रहते हैं.
इसीलिए
सभी में कोई पीछे से चेयर फेंकता है, किसके सर पे लगती है.
इसीलिए रैन में
वो
इतना
रैन रेस में तो आई थी ना, तभी एक बंदे ने चेयर फेंकी थी, उसके सर पे बॉटल मीटर फेंके थे ना, तो उसकी वजह से हम लोग को अभी डांस करवा रहे हैं बस। जब तक ये सब लोग प्रॉपर्ली डांस नहीं करेंगे तब तक असेंबली बंद नहीं होगी।
तो डांस के सिवा और भी तो कुछ करा सकते हैं।
हाँ ना, कर सकते हैं ना, और असेंबली बंद कर सकते हैं, और क्या कर सकते हैं?
क्या कर सकते हैं?
बंद कर सकते हैं।
हाँ
Put that inside. If I take it, और कुछ नहीं मिला तुमको? हाँ? कोई रूलर नाम का, कोई स्केल नाम का कोई सामान नहीं है तुम्हारे पेंसिल बॉक्स में? Did you ever hear such type of an excuse? No. Okay, complete the other side.
yes ma'am.
Broilers, they require
Low protein high roughage diet.
high roughage diet for meat production.
yes ma'am.
For meat production.
They require
उल्टा नहीं उसका, बस मीट प्रोडक्शन
Now, next is
Question number 6.
what is the main difference between culture and capture fish farming? This we discussed the other day, fish farming. So this was what we discussed. I think this was the last topic we completed the other day. Fish farming, culture farming, and capture farming. What was the difference? If I talk about farming of fishes in one particular area of the sea, or the river, or the ocean, that means what are we doing? Whenever we are talking about farming the fishes or such type of aquatic organisms in their own water body, in their own habitat, then that is what is known as culture farming. And capture means we are talking about making an artificial pond, artificial lake, and then we are breeding them, and then we are taking care. Right on the answer. Capture and culture fish farming, right? The process of breeding and rearing fishes.
Well, this is a starting place.
Start, first line. The process of breeding and rearing, R-E-A-R-I-N-G. Process of breeding and rearing fishes. Process of rearing, where's the other boy? Anush, no? Arush, हाँ. हाँ?
उसका हेडेक करो, स्नोवर्ड है।
कहाँ पे गया था?
चिल्ड्रंस डे स्नोवर्ड लेके गए।
चिल्ड्रंस डे नहीं, आज लेके गए थे।
चिल्ड्रंस डे की खुशी।
नहीं।
खुशी?
नहीं,
गाय पालती है।
ऐसे ही स्कूल।
खुशी क्या? तुमको क्या लग रहा है? तुम क्या चाइल्ड नहीं हो अभी भी?
खुशी हमको खुशी है, उनको क्या खुशी है हमारी चिल्ड्रन?
तो तुमको खुशी दिला रहे हो?
अरे और चिल्ड्रन डे की खुशी तो है ही नहीं।
तो किस लिए?
लेके नहीं करेगा।
ऐसे टाइम पास।
Snow World is Grand Central Mall.
ग्रैंड सेंट्रल वही तो देखो ना।
क्या बच्चे जैसा देखते हैं? थोड़ा दूर
तो तुमको क्या लेके जाते? पेरिस लेके जाते हैं?
क्यों नहीं?
क्यों नहीं? क्यों नहीं?
वैसे इमेजिन करते हैं।
वे में ऑस्ट्रेलिया जा रहे हैं बस।
You ask yourself, should I ask for that much?
हाँ वो भी है।
नहीं,
बट लेके जा सकते हैं।
ना वे में ऑस्ट्रेलिया लेके जा रहे हैं।
हाँ. Now next. Right. What I said? What was the first sentence I said? The process of rearing and breeding fishes
Yes.
in their natural habitat. In their natural habitat. In their natural habitat, such as sea, ocean, river, etc., is known as capture farming. Full stop. Capture farming. Next sentence. The process of breeding fishes in artificial in artificially made process of breeding fishes in
captive farming.
Full stop. The process of breeding fishes in artificially made lakes, ponds, etc. In artificially made lakes, ponds, etc. is known as capture farming. Is known as capture farming. I get the first part was culture farming I gave you. Understand what I told you again. There are two terms, culture farming, capture farming. So say suppose if the fish farmer is trying to is trying to carry out the process of fish farming in one particular area of the sea. Now that we talk about Arabian Sea, it's a huge big water body, no? Yes. So now in this water body, is it possible that there must be almost about 20 different type of fish farmers who are locating themselves at one particular region of the water body and they are catching fishes, throwing the seeds, the eggs and catching? Yes, they are doing. If that is what they are doing, are they making any artificial pond? No, they are not. They are constantly, every day, they would go to their own particular area and try catching fishes and then they again throw the eggs. And so because every particular type of a fish is residing always in a particular location of the water body. Don't ever think that the fishes in the water body are scattered all over. No. I talk about the entire water body. If this is the entire water body, I understand. There will be one type of a fish only growing at this area. There will be another type of a fish growing at this area. There will be another type of a fish growing at this area. Every type of a fish has got a particular location where they are all mingling together. They don't generally, because they will not, every type of a fish is not accustomed with the depth of the water. There are some type of fishes which will only grow on the superficial layers of the water. Kuch type of fishes are which will grow a little bit deeper. Kuch fishes are or thoda sa deep. And after a particular depth, the organisms cannot survive. They would not grow. So if I divide the entire sea or the ocean into three, that way we can divide the entire sea or the ocean into three big regions. Some fishes are always present on the upper layers, some on the middle layers and some on the bottom layers. And uske aage, as long as light can penetrate, this type of organisms you will find. After a particular region in the sea and the ocean, light cannot penetrate, so you will not come across any of such type of an organism.
Are there some species which can go under the
that would be majorly, that would be the invertebrates, the corals and all. The corals and all, of course, they are at the bottom.
Any animal?
No big animal. No big animal. Basically the corals. Basically the corals and invertebrates only you will find there. But if I talk about the fishes, if I talk about all these, the shrimps and the crabs and the lobsters, all these aquatic organisms, all will be in either of these three layers. So now, if a farmer is culturing or practicing his farming, catching fishes and giving seeds and taking care and nutrients, so वो उसमें एक particular water region को select कर लिया है and every day he is taking care of his own area. If this is the method, then this is what is known as culture farm. But there are some regions where some artificial tanks are made, and in this artificial tank, some two varieties of fishes are being cultured. If this is what, then we are talking about capture farming. Okay, so two different types of farming that we are talking about. Did you complete the answer? Come to the next question. Come to the next question. What do you understand by? What do you understand by pisciculture, or define pisciculture? What is pisciculture? That's a very, very common definition. What is pisciculture? What is pisciculture? Likho. The process of rearing, R-E-A-R-I-N-G, process of rearing, breeding. Breeding. Arya, sit properly. The process of rearing, breeding, and caring. Rearing, breeding, caring. Organisms in the water body. It's not only fishes, organisms in the water body scientifically is known as pisciculture. Scientifically is known as pisciculture. Scientifically is known as pisciculture.
Yes.
Name some varieties of Name some variety of organisms present. Name some variety of organisms found in the marine water body. Name some variety of organisms found in the marine water body. Example, Radha. Some commonly cultured marine organisms are, or marine fishes also again, right? Marine fishes.
Commonly cultured.
Marine fishes are.
Getting these to be.
Some commonly cultured marine fishes are sardines, mackerel, tuna, pomfret. These are some common examples you should always remember.
Not in the book, it was one more fish, something.
Bombay duck.
Bombay duck.
That's also quite common this region, Bombay duck. That also you can write.
Pomfret.
Pomfret. That flat silvery fish. Pomfret. Who is asking you whether you like or not? You write now the names. Pomfret. Bombay duck also, if you remember, you can write Bombay duck. Come to the next one.
मिस आपको मालूम है
क्या?
पानी के नीचे aliens रहते हैं ऐसे कुछ.
Aliens.
क्यों मैं आपको बताता हूँ theory.
I'll learn this theory.
थोड़ा देखो ऐसे मतलब हमने अभी तक वाटर ये नहीं किया डिस्कवर सिर्फ लैंड ही किया वाटर तो बहुत बाकी है देखा नहीं अभी तो ऐसे बोलते करके हम लोग जहाँ ढूंढते हैं एलियंस को ऊपर तो वहाँ नहीं होते अगर
पानी के नीचे
होते हैं हो सकते हैं
गए नहीं करेक्ट I'm convinced. Okay. Now let us write on the next question, number 9. Mention few or mention some economic importance of fishes. Mention some economic importance of fishes.
mention few.
Economic importance of fishes.
Fish production के कितने आंसर?
Huh?
Fish production के कितने आंसर?
No, I gave you poultry also. The first part was from the poultry.
I'm just listening, is not focusing. I want to be like.
कितने questions दिए इसने?
हाँ.
In I-10. From fifth.
At least Neeraj, he was dreaming in the class last time because he sat with you, no, the other day. Both of you were together. तो उसने तो आधे questions लिखे ही नहीं. When Neeraj came, I was sure how many questions I gave you and which were the questions.
वो गलत question.
हाँ, तो इसलिए आज तो मैं तुम दोनों को एक साथ होने ही नहीं देने वाली हूँ। तुम इस नॉर्थ पोल में बैठोगे तो वो साउथ पोल में। अभी तुम अगले लेक्चर में अगर तुमने वॉल को छुआ नहीं, तुम जाओगे घर। पैर ज्यादा दर्द हो रहा है, पैर को घर रख के आ जाओ एंड देन यू सिट दैट साइड। I get that side, huh? When I meet you again. So, do you want me to show the demo? I think he's the tallest in the class, no? So, come here and show him that how you can sit this side with your legs easily stretched out. हाँ, तो अगर वो भी टेढ़ा बैठा है, मतलब यहाँ पे वो आर्या बैठ सकता है। तो वो बेचारा जितना सुन रहा है।
ये वजह से मेरी मम्मी को कॉल किया।
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Nothing else, but I'm shocked. So now that means it's ultimate time that I have to meet your mother also, your parents also rather. Huh? In all these, your age is now almost going to be 16, right? 15, 16.
14.
हाँ. 15. So 15 साल में जिसने simple basic manners and etiquettes नहीं सीखा, difficult है ना life आगे? आगे बहुत difficult है। जैसे रायन से निकलोगे, इस जंगल से निकलोगे तो देखोगे अरे बाहर की दुनिया तो so difficult है।
इस रायन ही difficult।
वो जंगल है और कुछ नहीं।
Memories.
Now, what I said, economic importance. चलो, economic importance लिखो। Some common products obtained from marine fishes are. Common products obtained from marine fishes are number 1. Common products obtained from marine fishes. So I'm giving that one. Likho. Economic importance such as oysters.
Some common production of marine fishes
are oysters.
Yes, ma'am. Lobsters
are cultivated for pearls. Oysters are cultivated for pearls. Oysters are cultivated for pearls. I'll complete this, then you ask me the question. Huh? Complete karo pehle.
pearls.
Comma. Comma. Fishes like cod, C-O-D, cod. Fishes like cod, comma. Fishes like cod are cultivated for oil. Cultivated for fish oil. Cultivated for fish oil.
fish oil used to
comma. Certain fishes, array complete. Certain fishes or certain fish skin are used for making various articles and
these articles
there are so many different type of goods, like say suppose when you talk about even cosmetics and all, where fish oil is also used. There are certain type of
fish oil is also used for body.
That is different. And then you talk about there are so many different type of waxes also. जहाँ पे fish oil भी use होता है. Some type of paraffin. These are one type of not the basic type of candles that we burn in our homes.
Oysters, do they collect the pearls?
They secrete. It's a secretion from their own body.
Oh, they made it.
They make it inside their own body. It's just like their salivary secretion, which gets hardened. It's a secretion from their body. It's not collected from outside. It is rare. Difficult to breed them also. Acha, complete karo. And some such as
various articles.
And some such as crabs, shellfishes, mussels, 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 and mussels are grown for obtaining shells, etc. What is aquaculture? इस पार्ट में से definition questions are many, so I'm straight away giving you these questions. What is aquaculture? The process of breeding and rearing aquatic organisms. Process of breeding and rearing aquatic organisms. Aquatic organisms in
breeding and rearing.
Aquatic organisms in inland water bodies. In inland water bodies such as lakes and ponds. In inland water bodies such as lakes and ponds are known as aquaculture. Aquaculture. Explain. Integrated fish culture. Explain integrated fish culture. Now, what we generally feel is that if it is a lake, if it is a water body, either if I talk about the sea and the ocean, then some marine fishes, marine organisms should be cultured. And if it is a lake and a river and a pond, some inland fishes should be cultured, meaning the freshwater fishes should be cultured. But there is another system where, say suppose I'm talking about a lake or a pond, where at one part of the pond, now if it is a pond, I understand that ye ek pond hai, and in one part of the pond, some fishes are grown. Some 1 or 2 types of fishes are grown. And this is a pond, I'm saying. That means the water is not very deep. The water is shallow. Yes. So in this water, certain types of plants also can be grown. Now what type of plants can be grown around? Because on the other side also there is adequate amount of water and certain type of aquatic organisms are grown, and here the water is also shallow, but there is water. So this waterlogged soil can be used for growing plants such as corn, paddy, rice, which needs waterlogged soil. So now in this type of land, what is happening? Maybe now almost more than half of the land is used for farming, and almost about roughly around 1/4 or a little bit more of the land is used for fish farming. So fish farming and plant culture is happening at the same time. If this is what is happening, This is known as integrated fish farming.
Yes, ma'am.
Right up. What is integrated fish farming? Explain integrated fish farming. Fish cultures are also carried out in waterlogged agricultural, waterlogged, LOGGED, waterlogged
Also carried out
in waterlogged का मतलब क्या है? जहाँ पे water accumulated है. In waterlogged agricultural lands. You all are this one, no? Ryan Khargar or Nehru?
San.
अच्छा.
The best branch.
हाँ, San. Make your school proud by your results and by your behavior.
जिसको कोई तो बोलते हैं कि तुम फुटबॉल उड़ना चाहते हैं कि उसके मार्क्स तो देते हैं नहीं स्कूल के लिए इतना मेहनत करो स्कूल तुम्हारे लिए कुछ कर भी नहीं देते
कौन?
मम्मी बोलती है
किसने बोला? मम्मी ने बोला. Of course she is right. जब जाते हो you're not.
कैसे फुटबॉल तो अपने लिए ना पैशन है ना मिस अपना स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ा अपना गेम बढ़ा अपन कम खेल
स्कूल खेलता भी ना तू खेलता भी है
क्योंकि मेरा हाथ टूट गया और मेरे को सर नहीं गया.
हाँ, so that is the point. You are going because you are going to play. You are going to play. You are wasting your parents' money, and you are simply wasting time there. You are going to play. If you do that work also with devotion, then you will end up getting selected at the state level and higher. That gives pride to your parents. Yes, their money is worth spent. You are spending money. But are you giving them any good results? तो ना पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, ना sports कर रहे हो, but they are spending money. So obviously.
No, but
whole Ryan College is the best basketball player in the 10th standard. No one can.
I'm saying that
That's good. That's good.
वो सब छोड़ो ना हाँ करके हम जब पढ़ाई करते हैं तो उसके साथ खेल कूद नहीं होगी.
होता है, होना ही चाहिए. But when you are doing
only खेल कूद नहीं कर रहे ना वो तो पढ़ाई तो हो रही है ना.
West side.
Does your parents scold you for not studying well? No.
बिल्कुल थोड़ा वो बाकी सब अच्छा है पढ़ाई.
Which subjects you are poor in?
Science.
Science में.
Maths. Favorite subject है मेरा science.
Maths में.
Maths की science favorite है.
नहीं, maths में poor हो. So why don't you take it little bit time practice करोगे, then it's okay. So if you are balancing, पढ़ाई भी तुम लगभग ठीक कर रहे हो. Maybe your parents are not saying that. Hey, why are you pushing? Your legs are really creating a problem. I'll have to chop them down now. So balance करके चलो ना. Then the parents will not have any problem. They are ready to spend for you. They are ready to give their time also. I don't think any parent will deny that. But जो भी करो थोड़ा मन लगा के हाथ पैर तोड़ के आ जाते हो, बस उतना ही कर रहे हो. But if you're doing something good, obviously I believe your parents must be very much proud of you. As he says, if that is true, then of course they must be proud of you. But उसके साथ कुछ you should be able to keep yourself independent. वो भी तो सोचना है. मैं जो बोल रही हूँ, are you able to understand what I'm speaking? So that's why your parents are worried. In case you are not able to do that good in sports, you understand. If you're not able to do that good in sports, then what are you going to do? How will you make yourself independent? तो उसके साथ पढ़ाई तो बहुत जरूरी है. So वो भी थोड़ा सा करके. And if you are superb in sports, obviously they'll not tell you anything. चलो. That way your future is set. If you are very good in sports, so no problem. You will as it is make a career in sports. But ये भी नहीं हो रहा, वो भी नहीं हो रहा, then so either you become very good in one, devote करो इतना, put your 101%. Who is one?
हाँ मिस तो फिर कल से बास्केटबॉल ही करेंगे.
So obviously Obviously.
Let's go. नहीं मतलब sports में ज़्यादा अच्छा है पढ़ाई से.
So obviously, no, I think no parent today believes that you have to only keep on studying. No, they must be believing you because they must be telling you because till now you have not proved yourself to be superb in sports. Agar wo hai, then obviously they'll tell you. Because I have seen many parents, I myself am a parent. So I have seen many parents who are with the children because they are so good in sports, they are so good in music. But at the same time, I have also seen children who are so good in music, they are almost developing a career in music. But iska matlab ye nahi ki they are getting 40%. Still, they are getting an appreciable 60%. तो सबको उतना तो होना ही चाहिए. By chance, if you are not able to do good in that field, पढ़ाई के साथ कुछ तो तुमको मिल जाएगा ना. So that's why parents are worried. आ रहा है बात समझ में?
मतलब कोई एक जगह प्लान भी होना चाहिए.
हाँ, प्लान भी होनी चाहिए. बट अगर तुमको लग रहा है कि नहीं प्लान ए में मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ, put your 500%. तभी जाके you will reach somewhere. ये भी कर रहे हैं, ये भी नहीं हो रहा, वो भी नहीं हो रहा. Obviously the parents' blood pressure is increasing. क्योंकि your age is increasing, no? वो भी सोच के देखो. अभी 40 है.
40.
हाँ. So by the time you are something around 20, 25, अभी 10 साल में you have to get settled. तो did your parents say anything when you were 5 years, 6 years, 8 years? No, but now.
मेरा तो जिंदगी 5 साल के बाद बिल्कुल याद है.
मतलब 5 साल के बाद याद है मतलब?
5 साल के पहले क्या हुआ मेरे को कुछ मालूम नहीं.
सबको कुछ नहीं याद रहता है. और तुमको लग रहा है कि तुम ही एक्सेप्शन है.
थोड़ा थोड़ा याद.
सबको after 5 years you become mentally mature, तभी सब होते हैं. So try to understand that. Teachers जब बोल रहे हैं with a cause, parents जब बोल रहे हैं, they are scolding also at times for a cause. You understand, all of you understand कि आजकल so many fields and there are children who are so good. Competition इतना है, it's difficult to make your stand. So that's why parents are worried. No parent is wrong, no teacher is wrong. Because we are learning from our own experience. So we want our coming generation to be much better. Only that. Simple. Chalo, now which answer we are doing?
We are done with the 11.
This one done?
Yes.
This is done. Now which one? Which is now important?
Agriculture land
No, I think one example I have to give you. Complete. Read karo, Arya, read that answer.
Fish culture are also carried out in waterlogged agricultural lands. Yeah.
Agricultural lands. For example, paddy cum fish culture. For example, paddy cum fish culture includes, for example, paddy cum fish culture includes. Pavit? Are you going to? एक और डोज तुमको चाहिए क्या?
मैं हंस रहा हूँ तो क्या हुआ?
हंस रहा हो तो क्या हुआ मतलब? क्लास
में हंस रहा हूँ यार.
हाँ?
नहीं. हंस रहा हूँ.
हाँ, right. Paddy cum fish culture includes.
क्या?
Even that one. See the way he'll giggle. Paddy cum fish culture includes fish species like
मैं आपको कॉल आ रहा है, एक मिनट चेक करूँ इसमें.
No.
सिर्फ चेक करूँ इसमें.
No, you are not supposed to take calls in the class. Includes fish species like Catla, C-A-T-L-A, Catla or Labiorohita. These are some specific 1 or 2 examples I'm giving you. Itna yaad rakho. This much you should remember. This is a type of a fish grown in the pond and the river. A type of a fish grown in the pond and the river. Catla or Labiorohita. For example, paddy fish culture includes Species like Catla or Labiorohita grown along with paddy, grown along with paddy or rice. So paddy or rice ke saath this type of fishes can be grown. The last answer here, the last question that we will do is paddy or rice, full stop. Next question, same like this. We have already been talking about integrated fish culture. We'll complete this. Then I give you a break. Even me.
वैसे आंसर्स बोल रहे हो मतलब लिखने के बोल पढ़ना है.
पढ़ना क्या है? You will study at home. Now the last answer from this part.
Let's go.
Last answer.
Explain composite fish culture. Explain composite fish culture. Composite and integrated, two different concepts. Explain composite fish culture. Explain composite fish culture. Likho. The process of breeding 5 to 6 varieties of fishes, 5 to 6 varieties of fishes in the same water body, in the same
varieties of fishes.
Breeding 5 to 6 varieties of fishes in the same water body. For example, a pond.
For example,
A pond is known as
Same water body.
Example, a pond is known as composite fish culture. Composite fish culture. Full stop. The fish species selected. Fish species selected should be put number 1, should be put a dash, number 1, should be having different nutrient requirements. Different nutrient requirements. And number 2, survive in different zones of the water body. Survive in different zones of the water body. Survive in different zones of the water body, such as, full stop. So survive in different zones of the water body, full stop. Next line you come, such as Katla, put a dash, surface breeders, or surface feeders, you can write. Surface feeders, that's the first part. Rohu, where do we find? In the middle zone of the water body. In the middle zone of the water body.
What is ROHM?
ROHU.
Miss क्या feeders के बाद क्या सीधा लिखो?
This is the first line, this is the second line. You keep writing as I'm writing. Katla are present on the surface of the water body. Rohu found in the middle zone. MRIGALS, mriggles on the bottom zone of the water body. And the last is the grass carp. carbs on the weeds.
क्या grass can't.
This is the type of a fish. Now, what are you writing? You are writing, what is the meaning of composite fish culture? What is the definition that you have written? That 4 to 5 types of fishes can be grown in the same pond. But how are you going to select the 4 to 5 types? Can I select?
Different level.
So what type of crops to select? Remember the concept of mixed cropping? Mixed cropping, yaad hai? What was the concept of mixed cropping? We can grow 4 to 5 types of crops on the same land. So can I select any type of a crop? No, I have to select those 4 types or 5 types जिनके requirements अलग-अलग है.
Same है.
No, nutrient requirement should be different, and they must be growing almost in the same type of soil. That is true, but nutrient requirements अलग होना चाहिए, and they should be growing different. If one is growing a tall tree, if one is a tall tree, then the other should be a little bit of a bush or a shrub. The other should be herb. So this type of crops you can grow together. If I have to choose 4 types of crops and all are big trees, will that be sufficient in that plot of land? Perhaps not. Same like that. When we are talking about composite fish culture, we are selecting 4 to 5 species. But what to decide? How to choose? These 4 to 5 species should all not be on the same water level. One type I have to choose which are present on the surface, which grows best on the surface. Another type in the middle, another type in the bottom. So that way. Can you tell me what is the reason? So that from every layer of the water, they are getting different amount of nutrients. And what? To avoid competition and predation. What is the significance? You are asked, what is the significance of this method? Significance is, since they are in different zones, so there is no competition. This type will not feed on this type. Predation nahi hai. This type is not feeding on this type is not feeding on this. There is no predation and there is no competition. The last sentence you write, the significance of this method is, the significance of this method is that it avoids, significance of this method is it avoids competition for food. It avoids competition of food and predation. It avoids competition for food and predation. Understood what is the meaning of predation? What I told you just now. One type of fish feeding on the other. One type of fish feeding on the other.
Avoids
competition for food and predation. Competition for food and predation. 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 Now, the last part that is left is beekeeping. That's a very small part. Now, look into the volume. We'll complete with this and then I'll give you a break of 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and then we'll start with the next chapter. Dekho, beekeeping, you don't have a volume.
No, I have a volume, and my volume, my was not.
Take out your volume. Now, beekeeping, just 2-3 things only to study from there. What is the definition of beekeeping? What is the meaning of beekeeping? Beekeeping, what is the term? Apiculture. Underline that word. Apiculture. Then what is apiculture? So far already you had studied. What? Pisciculture kya hai? Fish farming kya hai? All this animal husbandry kya hai? So there's a typical definition that already you know. The scientific method of rearing, caring, and breeding of bees now that we are talking about. Underline the definition, apiculture. Underline one more word there. Beehives. What is the other word for beehives? Artificially made beehives. What are artificially made beehives called? Apiary. Artificially made beehives are called apiary. And beehive, you already know that we get to see these naturally made beehives by these insects.
If the bee kills the queen bee, every other bee will get out.
Become inactive. They all will become inactive.
Why is this happening?
Because when we are talking about the queen bee, because these are social animals, bee and these are social animals. Whenever you talk about the queen bee, number one, can release certain specific chemical substances which are acting as commands for the other animal. Recognition, that is one. And second is, it is only the queen bee which has the capacity of laying the eggs. And the lifespan of these animals these insects are not very long. So once the queen bee is removed out, what will happen? These animals, these bees, after a short period of time, they are dead. And this hive, where the natural process of growth is stopped. So this hive, after a few weeks, it will be inactive. It will not be in the process of making honey anymore. Okay, now just like the previous part of the chapter, cattle farming, poultry farming, we had studied. Here also you are supposed to remember some names about the indigenous and the exotic breed. Underline karo. Indigenous breeds. Which are some of the indigenous breeds? Underline. Indigenous breeds are the Apis florae, the Apis indica. Can you see that? The Apis cerana indica, it is written. Cerana you can forget. Apis indica, that's enough for you to write. Apis indica hai, Apis florae hai. These are the common Indian varieties. Dorsetta also. The little bee. The little bee. And then for the exotic breeds, mellifera, underline. Apis mellifera. Exotic. Now, straight away we move into what are some of the products we get from the bees. What are some products we get? We get honey, and we get what? Wax from the honeycomb, the waxes. And now straight away you will be asked questions on what are some of the economic importance of honey? What are some of the economic importance of the wax? So first of all, let us complete with wax. When I talk about economic importance of the wax, they are used for making variety of products. 5 products can you name? I talk about the waxes are used for cosmetics. Not fish oil. He's still in fishes. Now we are talking about the waxes. The waxes that is obtained from the honeycomb. The honeycomb are used for making candles, are used for making paraffin waxes, are used for making cosmetics, are also used in varnishes and polishes. The varnishes and the polishes that we use for our furniture, for our doors, for our cabinets. Why do they shine? Because a type of this paraffin is mixed with them. And if there is no paraffin given, then they will be water absorbing. Easily they'll absorb water. So that resistance to water is given by that layer of wax, polishing. Paints, varnishes. So these are some significance, the economic importance that you have to remember. Now we talk about what is the importance of honey. Can you tell me now at least 3 economic importance of honey? Significance, importance of honey kya hai? Why should we consider honey as a very good product? The naturally. Number 1, it has got medicinal value. It generally helps in treating cough and cold, treating digestive disorders. Number 2, it is also used as, or it is also known to increase or enhance our immunity. At the same time, it can be also used in variety of different type of food products. When we are talking about making the cookies and the bread and the buns and the cakes, we can easily use honey as a substitute for sugar. And at the same time, honey can also be used as a spread or as a typical healthy food item also. So now the honey has got so many different type of significance. So tick that part that you'll have to remember. Bee wax and honey, what are their significance? You get this answer, very common 1 mark, 2 mark answer. The last concept, tick that word pasturage. Can you see that word pasturage? What is pasturage? Now, at all, if I ask you that, did you ever come across that there is a honeycomb basically on a desert area? Generally not. On a desert area, we generally don't come across honeycomb. Where do we come across a honeycomb again? Do we come across a honeycomb very close to a sea or an ocean? Not again. But where do we come across a honeycomb? You'll always come across a honeycomb on the land, on the trees, or on the tree trunks or the buildings, and that also on buildings where nearby there should be adequate amount of plants. Then only. Then why like that? Because these plants which are bearing the flowers, if they are the nectar producing, then around those areas only, the plants which have got adequate growth of flowers and nectar producing flowers, around them only you will come across honeycomb, the beehives. Why? Because these flowers are acting as a source of food for the bee. What is the source of food known as pasturage? Pasturage, underline. What is pasturage? The source of food, the flowers, the flowering plants, which are source of food for the honeycomb, the honeybees. That is what is known as pasturage. Underline that word, pasturage.
Yes.
From this part, just few points to remember. You may get questions on name the indigenous and the exotic breed. Typical questions like the other parts of the chapter. Economic importance of wax or honey. This is very important from this part. And define pasturage. Only these 4 questions basically you get from this part of the chapter. So we are done with this chapter. After the break again when I meet, I'll be continuing with the last chapter, that is natural resources. We'll continue on that. Take a break and then we again continue.
Wow,
भाई तेरे पे इंटरेस्ट कितना है और भी है क्यों क्यों
पापा को मेरे पापा तो बड़ा डब्बा मिला प्रिंकल्स का वो स्नैक्स को नहीं मिले तो गार्डन में तो रीप्लेस कर रहे हैं आवाज से
देना
आवाज से
दर्शन करो
Why not?
ये क्या कर रहे हो
भाई ये बात मस्ती मत कर यार
अरे रुकना the professionals are helping me right now
अरे मैं उसका कौन मैं पता अरे नहीं देखा कहाँ गया उसका दिखाएगा देखो मेरे वजह से नहीं हो
ask
रहा
him to call me देखो कॉल करने बोल रहा है
नहीं क्यों करो